Yeah, I figured we could pause and
go 20 minutes
watch the game. Yeah. Coming out of the bye week, 49ers are sitting at 4-4. 49ers facing another defining moment, a must-win showdown against a tough Tampa Bay squad. The stakes are high, the pressure is on, and every game from here could be the difference between a playoff push and a lost season. Can Purdy bounce back? Will CMC's return spark this offense? And what did Brady have to say about our QB1 this week? Let's break it down. Ray J. Garcia, Kyle J. Vigil, welcome. This is the 49 Problem.
Yeah, this is Kyle Shanahan. You are now tuning into the 49 Problems, where these two guys try to act like they know more than me. All they do is talk shit. 100% unfiltered, uncut fan reactions. Here to talk about all the drama. And now your hosts, Kyle J. Vigil and Ray J. Garcia. Assholes.
All right. You guys are live. It's Sunday. We are recording this officially. Today is November 10th. San Francisco 49ers. It's 9:30. We are 30 minutes away from kickoff. San Francisco 49ers will face Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You've heard it in the intro. Kyle J. Vigil. Coming off the bye week, Kyle J. Vigil sitting here with Ray J. Garcia, the one and only. He's going viral. I don't know if you all heard.
Going by. Hey, I got the earpiece in just in case the teleprompter behind the camera goes out. You can still keep it going.
We got live.
Everything running smooth.
Live feed. Yep.
Okay, it's connected.
Breaking. Oh, I thought we had breaking news.
No.
Well, there is a bit of breaking news.
They were telling me I shouldn't have told them that part.
So we are in an amazing time to be an American. Our last episode, we left off right before the election. We were picking up after the election. It's Sunday. The election was Tuesday. Ray, you called it. Donald Trump, President of the United States. Things are getting back to normal.
Not yet. But we could see him.
You could say, and that's not even like a political statement. I just feel like, so remember when we went to the Super Bowl in February? That episode, I was like, we're going to the Super Bowl. Donald Trump's going to win the presidency. Like I was like, from 2019 to 2024, I was like, oh, we're going to rewrite the wrongs. I guess I was wrong, like, because technically Trump wasn't president yet, you know? So, just to pick up off where we left off last week with the whole, Trump and the whole Bosa thing, the hat, you seen how he got fined and all that, and it wasn't that big of a deal, right? Like, I thought people were going to make a bigger deal out of it.
I think that's kind of like the Kittle fuck the Cowboys shirt. I proudly pay that fine, and I'd proudly pay it again.
I just, for some reason, I thought I shouldn't say I thought, because it did. It just depends on where you went for the information. It kind of seemed like one of those things where the 49ers didn't want it to be bigger, or they didn't let it get bigger than it needed to be. It happened. People talked about it. It kind of went under the rug. The election happened. He got fined.
I wouldn't doubt the 49ers didn't pay that fine for him.
I think when it comes to politics, though, I think the 49ers are really I bet you there was some behind the door talks, because of the whole Kaepernick thing.
But a lot of stuff like that, the organization goes ahead and covers. They don't take it from you know what I mean?
No, yeah,
maybe
definitely.
I mean, maybe a political statement. Maybe it's different, but
I don't think they held it against Bosa. He was they weren't gonna make him miss playing time or anything. It wasn't
but I know if Bosa were to go get a fucking flagrant penalty or something, and get fined for it, or the organization would pay it. So I could be wrong, but I would see, it's not like a fucking big ass fine.
No, it was only $11,000.
So I wouldn't.
Bet you Trump pays it for him.
I wouldn't put it past the 49ers to pay it. It's a tax write-off.
One of the things that was kind of tripping me out about it was last year. I don't know why, right? But we knew 2024 was an election year, obviously, right? But the election, from the Super Bowl to the election, was 8 months, 9 months. But as soon as the 2024 rolled around and the election, the campaign started kicking off, the 49ers won a Super Bowl going against Chiefs, going against Taylor Swift. And, very early on in this year, Taylor Swift was very vocal about supporting Biden. It was all about Biden until they fucking did that illegal coup and kicked Biden out for Harris. And then, Taylor Swift became the biggest Harris supporter. But I just think it's so funny that that the NFL and even the fan base, when it comes to the Chiefs and stuff, they were so supportive of the whole Taylor Swift and their whole political alignment and like everything they were doing during that Super Bowl. But for some reason, I don't know if you remember, like, I'm sure you remember, but like, there was there was a lot of talks around like politics during the Super Bowl, and I feel like because it was coming from Taylor Swift and the Chiefs, like it was okay, After they won, Biden, they posted that picture on Instagram and Twitter where Biden had the red glowing eyes, and he was like, just like we planned, Chiefs, and Taylor Swift, and I'm like, that's crazy, bro. Like, how is it like completely okay for them to do something like that? And you're like, oh, but that's not politically related. But you have political people in power that are obviously trying to like control narratives and shit like that. I just thought that was so weird that's allowed to happen. But the moment a player is like, hey, this is what I believe in, they're like, nope, you can't do that. Here's your fine.
Yeah, no, that's it's the narrative that the media wants to push, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in order for the NFL to keep its like network deals and all that shit, they got to push a certain narrative. Not saying they agree with it, but you got to, they play on fucking Fox.
Oh yeah,
BBC,
most definitely.
NBC, all these major networks, so they got to keep a good
the whole Diddy thing
with them. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The whole Diddy thing. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about that. Like, how do like they got something on someone, and that's how they keep them in line. What do you think they have on Kyle Shanahan?
What do they got on Kyle J?
What do they got on me? Nothing. I already did my time for that shit. But which one was blowing my mind this week, especially with Trump, was that kept coming up on Rogan this week, was the assassination
attempt.
But the first one, how like everything with the kid has been so weird afterward. Like, they cremated his body, they scrubbed his whole his identity. Like,
well, there was a second shooter, they were saying, up on a water tower.
That's funny that you brought that you say that, because the new trailer, you seen the new Captain America coming out, right? The Black Captain America. So right after the Trump assassination, that same week, or maybe before or after, but like that same week, they released the first trailer, and Harrison Ford is playing the United States president in this movie, and there's an assassination attempt on him in the trailer. And everyone, how like it's weird, like how movies affect or like how they mirror reality and vice versa. Yeah. So, you brought up how there might have been multiple shooters as a theory. So yesterday they released a new trailer, and in this trailer, like, they elaborate on that little scene, and like you hear someone go, "There's 4 shooters. There was how many shooters? There's 4 possible shooters." Like some shit like that.
Bro, I'm gonna send you this documentary.
It's so weird how like
it'll change your whole perspective. It was about the JFK.
Oh, bro. Well, I don't know if my perspective could be changed, because I mean, I don't know if I've ever told you about what my perspective is, but
he didn't get shot by the fucking driver. He didn't get shot by the dude on the grassy knoll. He got shot by somebody in the fucking sewers. Like
Yeah.
There was somebody in the
through the ground.
Not through the ground, through the little curb, how it pops out. You could just poke it. How it,
like the angle and shit.
You know how it is fucking like pops out of the sewer and calls the little boy over there.
Yeah,
with the balloon or whatever. I guess the thing I seen said there was like fucking 6 shooters or something like that.
Hey, wouldn't Diddy be a crazy it? He would have made a good it. Nah, but I think a lot of that too, though, is like when people just go back, like the more too, like if we go back and look at the Trump assassination attempt, like you'll see more and more shit where you're like, oh, this could have been something, or that could have been something, like, and that just points to like how much like human error and oversight there is in a lot of these. Like, I talk about this with people all the time. I'm like, you think people that are in control of like certain things, like police, or like who's running this, like from city to, like, who's keeping the government in control, right? Who's has some slight technical difficulties, but we back. So just assassination attempts, and they're probably not going to stop, bro. I was thinking that this morning, like,
oh yeah, no, they're saying there's going to be more. There've already been more, like plots or not plots.
Was it they stopped the Iranian one, and
yeah, they've already been some that have been in play.
The one that really used to, back in 2016 when he first became president, and everyone says like he knows more now, like he knows how to hire people now and appoint people to these other positions.
He didn't know what he was doing last time. He was kind of blind to it. Now he's got his feet wet, so he knows. He didn't know who to trust and who's who.
So in 2016, I remember being like, seeing how much hate he was getting, and I was thinking like, well, now the vice president is going to be the most important position in America. Like, since 2016. Like before that, I didn't really consider the vice president that important because I never seen an assassination attempt on a president. But once Trump became president, I would think that, like, man, this fool's gonna get shot just because the way he carries himself, the way the media makes you think he says certain things. And I remember thinking, like, looking at a picture of Mike Pence. I remember, let me see who the vice president is. Oh, it's Mike Pence, right? And I remember his picture, but I might have said this on this pod one time when we talked about this after he got assassinated. But I remember in his photo, he was behind the American flag, and the way the stars lined up, they put like 2 horns on Pence's head, and it looked so crazy. And I'm like, I remember telling people, like, bro, Mike Pence is the Antichrist, bro. Like, if Trump gets assassinated, like, this fool's gonna fucking take over. Like,
I think if he would have been assassinated, then Pence would have folded to the Democrats.
He did already,
I think he would have did it under the presidency.
Yeah.
He did it under vice presidencies to where there was no effects of.
He fucking
you get the president to fold, and
he endorsed Harris.
Yeah,
this
Trump
year.
Fired him.
Yeah. Before we move more on into Niner shit, Ray, just because I like shooting the shit with you on this shit. Last weekend, my stepdad, last weekend my stepdad, we were talking about this whole political climate with the election coming up, and he brought up this thing about Peanut the Squirrel, and I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about, right? And he explains it to me, like,
in New York.
Yeah, he just kind of breaks it down, like how they fucking put together this task force, and then so at first I just kind of like brush it off.
2 animals.
Just a raccoon too, right?
Squirrel and a raccoon.
So at first, I just kind of brush it off, right? And I was like, oh, okay, like, not really that big of a deal to me. Like, I don't understand it.
To me, before you go on, to me, it was a waste of funds. Like you said, they put together a task force.
Yeah.
For a couple saved wild animals that were saved and nursed back to health and became domesticated. But go ahead.
Well, no, so like as I listened more into it, like what you're saying, like I got enlightened on a situation. I'm like, yeah, it is kind of, it is fucked up, right? Like at the end of the day, like we talk about like our own issues here in our community, and we're like, why are we sending money over here to Ukraine? Why are we putting resources into these types of crimes when we have other crimes or people that should be policed and blah blah blah? Right? So I didn't really think nothing of it, right? And like the more and more, like I seen how big of a deal it was. But I was sitting there, bro, and I'm laughing, right? And I'm like, can you imagine? You're on this elite police task force, like you're at the top of your career, like you've been handing criminals up left and right, and you come in on a Tuesday afternoon, and they're like, for your briefing, right? And they're like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, here's our mission. Your target up on the wall. This is a picture of a squirrel, bro.
And a raccoon, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Bro, America is literally a fucking like Family Guy cartoon or Simpsons cartoon, bro.
Close to it, bro. It was getting there.
Shit ain't even no joke, though.
Idiocracy, bro. There's a movie they made called Idiocracy.
I just watched it recently because I've seen a lot of people talking about it.
Bro, it was where we're heading.
I think and like because of me, like when I got locked up, I missed out on hella movies. I think that movie came out like 2006 or 2007, like one of those years. So I must have missed it because I didn't remember it.
It wasn't really big, bro.
That's what a lot of people said.
It was
like
one of them,
like a stupid funny comedy.
Yeah, but like a low budget dude. Where's my car?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't think it went to theaters. I think it was always just a fucking.
Well, you know who made it? So the dude that made Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, but I think it was
like a straight to DVD or something.
Straight to DVD and like I think back then is when they still had Showtime and HBO and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyways, so Idiocracy, the 49ers, we'll pick up on the 49ers. We got about
10 minutes.
15 minutes to the game starts. And then we'll just pause and we'll come back. We'll do our
Diddy pause.
No Diddy pause. Just pause. But so earlier I said the easiest place to pick up this week, right? Because we had a really good episode. Yeah, came through with the Niners socks. Matching socks. Matching socks. We didn't even plan that. Where's my scarf?
That was dope.
I'm gonna put my scarf on.
That was dope.
My gay scarf. This is my non-binary scarf, as Ray calls it. Is this how you wear it? Or are you supposed to let one hang, right?
I don't know. You do you, boo boo.
Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so you had CMC returning, right? That was the biggest topic this week. They opened the practice window on Monday. It was CMC watch all week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Is he gonna be okay? I've seen reports like Wednesday. This report. Christian McCaffrey experiences no soreness. I'm like, God damn, like they're on this motherfucker, like, yeah. You know what I mean? And then, so the biggest topic of discussion was, what kind of usage will you have with CMC this week? What do you expect versus what you want?
They're telling me he's gonna have a big role today.
That's what I just seen, bro, and I didn't like that.
That teleprompter went down, so the earpiece came in. He's gonna have a big role.
Okay.
Not necessarily maybe a heavy workload, but a big role, probably opening up the passing game. You know, I think he's gonna. Here's the thing. I think.
Okay, you're good. You think my trend? You think CMC coming back? Like you said, yeah. You heard right now through the earpiece. He's gonna have a big role today.
He's gonna have a big role. Yeah, he's gonna open up the passing game. I think we might see some of what Steve Young called for, some of that three-headed monster, because Tampa Bay themselves have a three-headed monster in the backfield.
Tampa Bay being short some receivers too,
but they haven't lost a step either. I would compare Tampa Bay right now to the 49ers.
Well, they played a good game against the Chiefs last week.
They did. That's why I'm saying I compare them to the 49ers. You know, they're down some stars, but they're still kind of progressive.
It took them to overtime last week.
They're not winning every game. They're not dominating, but they're still a dominant force. Kind of like the Niners, faithful, but not too.
They were a playoff team last year. Baker Mayfield and Brock Purdy are
ever since the fucking that last year they had their bye week. Fucking Baker Mayfield's been hot, bro.
Yeah. Brock Purdy and Baker Mayfield are gonna always be compared to each other because they have similar play styles, similar physical attributes.
Baker Mayfield got a fucking cannon.
He got a stronger arm. I think Brock can run it a little bit more, a little bit better.
I think Baker's just a little more culture-fied, I guess you could say.
Like a player's player? Or you mean just like more experience? More experience, that's for sure.
But Baker likes to be, in the huddle dancing. If he's doing good, he's dancing, he's celebrating. Where Brock Purdy throws a deep touchdown pass, he'll run down the field and maybe, like an old school quarterback, or punch, throw a fist punch. Where Baker Mayfield's more outspoken on his celebrations sometimes.
Yeah.
Look at him and Bosa go back, with some.
Brock Purdy's first start was against Tampa Bay too. There's like a lot of little, Bosa and Baker Mayfield, Brock and Baker. This little matchup. I think the 49ers are. I think the only time they beat us is when they had Brady. I don't think they beat us with Baker yet.
Oh, did we play him last year?
Yeah, we played them.
Was Baker playing?
Yep. Played them last year. We beat them last year.
But was Baker playing or was he hurt?
He was playing. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people comparing their numbers this year. Because I think right now, like, Baker's number 2 in touchdowns, and he only has 9 picks. He's doing pretty
Brock's
good.
Number 2 in picks, and he only has 9 touchdowns.
No, I think like Brock's like right there, like in terms of I think he's just got like 2 more picks, maybe. Oh no, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, there's just them being compared. Like they're gonna continue to be compared to like by a bunch of people like throughout. You know what I'm saying? Like the league, just because of like I said, like their physical attributes. I don't know why I'm still wearing this. But so you got. How do we even get on Brock and Baker? But because I know we left off
McCaffrey opening up the
passing game.
And we just started talking about how Baker has been playing good.
Yeah. So with CMC though, like me personally, I'm like, okay, he's gonna be on the field. You don't want to push him too hard, but he's also one of those players where like he could take any snap to the house, and then it's like, so what? Then you just call it a day right there, because this motherfucker just ran fucking 70 yards to the house, Like, so, but so I seen a lot of people early on in this week saying like keep his, touches between 15, and then right before the game, I think I seen what you said, like, or maybe what you have heard something about he's like looking at 20 plus touches.
I don't necessarily think he's looking at 20 plus touches, but I think he'll have a bigger role. Like I said, not necessarily a workload, but him being out there,
just opening up this passing game
and opening up the passing game. He might get 3 or 4 passes, 5 passes. Maybe 10 touches.
Let's see.
That'd be good. 10 touches, 5 passes. 5 receptions. That's a pretty heavy workload. Not to mention the openings he's going to open up for other players. And if they do put him on the field with Mason and Garendo, spread him out wide or something.
Yeah. So
and then fucking motion Garendo out of the backfield or something. There's I don't know.
So you got on the sleeper picks, they have McCaffrey at 14 and a half rushing attempts, more or less. That honestly doesn't seem that bad. Like, I wouldn't even be mad if he got 15 rushing attempts,
Yeah. That's a tough one. That's
3.5 receptions.
I think less on the rushing.
Less on the rushing, or you can go 3.5 receptions, which I feel like maybe
I say more.
Brock checks it down a little bit more.
I say more on that one.
We can go with that one, or you got the anytime touchdown. I know a lot of people are dying to see a McCaffrey touchdown.
Oh, Shanahan's ego is going to get him one for sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because if it's less, like, the payout's way more.
Shanahan's going to make sure he gets a touchdown, especially being his first game back. Fuck yeah.
Ooh, like, if it's a receiving touchdown, it pays 3 times.
I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be a touchdown.
So we can go anytime touchdown. We'll go anytime touchdown. Let's see. We got a few minutes before the game starts, and then we'll pause and we'll come back and we'll maybe halftime we'll pick it up. What about George Kittle? You think he's going for a touchdown today too?
He's got to be big in the red zone.
I think so, bro.
He's got to be big in the red zone.
No, did he? So
I say yeah. That's a tough one because either they utilize him or they don't.
Yeah.
Either he's an asset or he's obsolete.
So I'm looking at it like cause he either has or he can go receiving yards, which is 64.5, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna feed the offense through him.
Now, see, here's the thing: if McCaffrey's back, he might just be a blocker, like he was.
Yeah, and he also might open it up.
I think he'll get a touchdown in the red zone.
Yeah, let's go anytime touchdown with him too. Then, what about the? We can also do something for Tampa Bay's tight end, Cade Otton. I feel like
he's gonna score. He's their weapon right now.
That's what I'm kind of thinking too. Like, they're gonna give him a touchdown,
especially with Mike Evans and
he's had 1 last week, 2 the week before.
No, he's been big for him.
Yeah, let's go with that one. All right, with Baker, we have 246 passing yards, or you could do a pick. 34.5 passing attempts. That's a lot of passing attempts. I don't know if they're going to throw it that much against us.
I think Fred's going to get one.
Pick?
Yeah. Somebody's going to get one.
Let's see. Baker.
Mosley, Fred.
He didn't throw a pick last week, but every week before that, he's thrown multiple picks.
I think he's going to throw one.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet. Let's do that one. We'll go more on that one. So we got Brock Purdy we got passing yards, rushing yards. We got pass attempts, completions, or a pick. Here's an interesting one. So this is combined passing and rushing yards, 279.5.
Oh yeah.
He's passed it 1 time. Every other time he got really close.
279. That's not
279.
It's not hard.
Let me look at how much
he might not have to scramble as much.
Let me look at how much he passes for a game. Let me see.
He might not have to scramble as much.
So he's passing for around 250 to 260 pretty consistently. So he would need a rush for about 15 yards.
That's without McCaffrey.
Ooh, that's a good. What about Brock for more than 20 completions? With McCaffrey coming in, catching out of the backfield.
Still, normally he's like 18 for 25 or something like that.
Maybe they run it a little bit more in this game.
That's what I'm saying. They've been more of a run-based offense.
So what about Brock for more than 263 passing yards, more or less.
Let's say.
All right, let's go less on that one. And then we have Debo. We could do a pick for Debo. 4.5 receptions, more or less.
Yeah, more.
He's been right there. He's been at 4 with the theme Christian opening it up. I think maybe you're right. No Brandon Ayuk. A lot of rookies out there. Let's go more with Debo. And we could pick one more. Juan Jennings is playing.
Yeah.
More or less than 3.5 receptions.
More?
Yeah. Let's do this. Let's lock it in. I'm going to put $5 on this one. If we win, it's $269. That's a sleeper app. I don't have a promo code, but we will. All right, it's locked in. So, all right, game's about to start in a few minutes. Ray, are you predicting a win on this one?
Yeah, we're fresh. We're fresher. We're coming off the bye week. They're coming off a tough game against Kansas City.
Much needed bye week.
So
to me, that kind of makes Tampa Bay a little bit of a threat. We're on the road. I do predict the 49ers are going to win. And this is more like, I think at this point, it's all psychological. All we heard going into this week was, we've been here before. Right prior to this game, we seen Debo was talking about, well, I shouldn't say prior to this game, but this week he said the vibes are up. He says the 49ers, everyone's back.
My boy's out there in Tampa.
Oh, nice. Cone's out there. I guess that's where I think Ryan G. Hensley's at right now, too. They're all out there.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. But so a lot of people, so it's not just Christian McCaffrey coming back, right? You got CMC coming back. You got Juan Jennings coming back. You got Jake Moody coming back. So a lot of people are thinking that, CMC is going to have the biggest impact on the game. It could be Juwan. My personal prediction is the biggest impact of the game will be Jake Moody. Well, hey, I'm calling it right now, bro.
No, you know what? You might be right because
Kyle Shanahan can now kick a 65-yard field goal.
It's not even about the field goal.
Yeah.
It's about we've been struggling with special teams, and we haven't been able to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone.
True.
Which
so we can start.
They've always been able to run them back. So now Moody's back. He could. They'll start at the 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now they got. So he might be the defining factor of the game.
Yeah. Especially because we've seen points where this offense can't move the ball, and then Kyle Shanahan has to kick field goals, and we know that he hasn't been able to kick deep field goals because of these guys he's been picking up off the streets since all these injuries.
Are you saying he can't go deep?
He can't go deep. Did you see what Debo was wearing today?
No.
Let me see. I have to show this to you, bro.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What the fuck is this fool wearing, bro? Hey, I'm telling you, we should make a whole series of videos where me and you just wear ridiculous outfits and act like we're going to the game like 49ers players.
We gotta make a mock little walkway like that.
Yeah. Motherfuckers, this shit's funny as fuck. All right, let's pause. Let's go watch this motherfucking game. I'm predicting
We'll touch back at halftime, little 2-minute segment.
I don't know why I'm doing all these stupid gang signs. 49 problems. 49ers win 30-17.
I can't call it a prediction. A win's a win in my book.
Like Jameis Winston said. All right. We are back. The game has just ended. The 49ers have officially defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-20. It was a close game. At some points, it was a terrible game. Wasn't what I expected for Christian McCaffrey's debut. There's a lot to unpack here. Ray, how you feeling after a 23-20 win against Tampa Bay on the road? NFC opponent, potential playoff matchup. What you thinking right now?
I think it was a sloppy win. Shanahan getting frustrated with the decisions he made. Jake Moody missing 3 field goals. Cutting all the other kickers too. You ripped that.
What?
You ripped it?
Nah, I don't think so.
You open it?
No, it was already open, wasn't it? Oh yeah, I guess it did.
You tried to open it like
it's still sealed though.
No, I know. But yeah, sloppy victory. I think the refs tried to hand it to Tampa at the end.
Sloppy hit. Yeah, dude, those flags at the end of the game was ridiculous.
I mean, they were legit flags, but
God don't like flags.
That happens every play,
every game. Like
they basically put the fucking ball in the 10-yard line for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So sloppy win. It's a win.
A win is a win at the end of the day. That's all that matters, right? You said that before the game kicked off when we had a prediction. Yeah, you said win is a win. That's all that matters. But a lot to still, like, how would you say, be desired. At this point, we just got done watching, not just the 49ers game, but you've seen, like, Washington won, or they lost, actually. But how good Washington's been doing this year. Minnesota won. They're 7-2. Detroit's still winning. The Eagles are still winning.
Minnesota won without scoring a touchdown.
Niners score touchdowns and can still barely win. We could barely score touchdowns, though, even with McCaffrey back. So, what was your thoughts on the McCaffrey on the carries? I think I read it. He was obviously our leading rusher. He had 13 carries. So he had 13 carries for 40 yards.
A little disappointed with that because McCaffrey comes back and all of a sudden JP's obsolete, Durando's obsolete.
Jordan Mason and Isaac Grando each had one carry for Grando for 0 yards and Mason for 5.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that.
Obsolete.
I don't agree with that. You keep the train running the way it is. You add McCaffrey as a
rotational
incentive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He hasn't, not saying he lost his position, but he shouldn't be just thrown right back into the mix. He hasn't had the proper game conditioning.
Yeah.
Game speed,
I've seen a lot, like on the debate going into this week, a lot of people bringing that up was, if you're looking at like long term, like, oh, we want McCaffrey to be able to play for us if we make a playoff run. They're like, you also need him to be football ready, like game conditioning. So, but I didn't expect them to make him the it felt like in the very first quarter, like going towards that second quarter, he was the main focus of the offense up until the Ricky Pearsall touchdown, Ricky Pearsall's first career touchdown. And that kind of went back and forth, right? Like to Kyle Shanahan's credit, to Brock Purdy's credit, he did move the ball around a lot this week. We've seen Pearsall make some catches. Debo had 5 catches. Juan Jennings, 5 or 6 catches. I think I have it right here. George Kittle with a few catches, making big plays. So, we talked about Brock Purdy being able to spread the ball a lot, and McCaffrey opening it up in a little pre-segment we did for this episode. So Juwan Jennings was our leading receiver, 7 catches, 93 yards. Ricky Pearsall had 4 for 73. McCaffrey 6 for 68. So altogether, McCaffrey in his season debut, coming off of stem cell experimental surgery, accounted for over 100 yards from line of scrimmage.
We don't know if it was stem cell
or experimental.
We don't. They just said he went for
something
for treatment in Germany. We don't know what kind of treatment.
So Debo Samuel had 5 catches for 62, then George Kittle for 3 for 57. So every receiver had over 50 yards receiving. I think that looks good on Brock. There's some positives to take away from this game. There's a lot of negatives.
Didn't see too many negatives on Brock. He had the fumble.
That Juwan Jennings, bro, his first game back. Didn't you say he was going to have the impact in this game? When I said Juwan, McCaffrey, and Jake Moody, I said Jake Moody was going to have the biggest impact on this game.
He did.
Little did I know it would be the most negative impact.
Stressful impact.
But yeah, back to McCaffrey, dude. Just obviously, as the week goes on, we'll get more information. Like, they're going to be like, are you sore? All those questions are going to come out. They're going to be asking, like, how do you feel, McCaffrey? He's going to say he's tired, like, but he's glad or happy to be back out there with the guys. But moving forward, so
Seattle next week.
Is it Seattle?
I believe it is.
Not Green Bay, right? So having everybody on the field today, like, I didn't expect it to be like everyone firing on all cylinders. Like I did say, I predicted a 30-point win, but 9 of those points were missed by Jake Moody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with 30-point wins.
I said 30 to 17, but I'm saying like 9 of those points were Jake Moody misses. You know?
Yeah.
So I would have been pretty close to that, but at the same time, like I don't know what anyone expected in terms of like if this offense was gonna get Christian McCaffrey and just fire on all cylinders, because there was points and times where it seems like we were really held back still a lot.
Yeah. So next 3 games are Seattle, Green Bay, and Buffalo. Sunday night games.
Seattle.
Buffalo's a Sunday night game.
That's cool. So we don't have any more of these Thursday night games. So I think we just have like a Monday night game coming up.
Yeah, we got one more Thursday night against the Rams, and then a Monday night against Detroit, and then to be determined against the Cardinals for the final game of the season, which could be bumped to a primetime game.
I mean, at least he didn't get hurt from what we've seen. But they're already making adjustments. They put Christian McCaffrey down at 39 yards. Brock Purdy had another couple rushes, 4 for 17. Deebo Samuel carried 3 for 14 yards. And again, Jordan Mason, Isaac Brendo. So I'm with you on that one again. I think we should talk more on that. Like, why? That's what I was kind of getting at before I got sidetracked there, looking at the schedule and stuff. But everybody's back on the field, and it kind of seems like we're taking a step back in that regard, right? Like, yeah, Christian McCaffrey was successful on the ground. He was successful through the air. He probably did have an effect on the rest of the team, like in terms of getting some of these guys opening up the passing game. Juan Jennings back, him having a huge impact. But why do we have to cut Mason and Grendo? Like, why not lean on them and preserve Christian McCaffrey? So going into, you talked about it earlier, if the 49ers win out, maybe they could still win number 1 in the division.
Not division. Well, yeah.
In the NFC, right?
Yeah.
So I would say winning out is like being very hopeful. Like almost like I would assume that we're gonna lose at least 2 more games this year, right? That would be like my best case scenario. But I'm looking at next week. So you got Christian McCaffrey already got ramped up this week. If I see Christian McCaffrey out there for more than his workload this week, then I'm gonna start really questioning. I mean, I've already been questioning.
I expect to see Christian McCaffrey have a heavier workload.
Yeah, you expect it to ramp up, but he already accounted for over 100 yards. He was, you know what I mean, this week alone. Like next to Juan Jennings, he was the.
I know, but
you know what I mean?
We don't know what's been going on. Like you said he had stem cell research. We don't know if he did or he didn't, and he could be 100%. But us as fans, we don't know the inner workings of what goes on behind the scenes, and they might not reveal to us everything.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here saying, "Oh, he's injured. Why are we playing him?" But really, he's been. I heard a little rumor that he's been ready this whole time. We've just been kind of
being cautious.
Not even being cautious, just kind of sitting back and letting him, So
that's pretty bold, if that's true, though, to be sitting at 4-4, because there's no guarantee. This game was almost lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how many positives to take away from this game, and I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much Seattle would give us in terms of if we beat Seattle again, I'm not going to be like, okay, we're back. I feel like on the road in Green Bay in 2 weeks, that's the episode where me and you will really be like, okay, this is what we know. Like a better
we got to beat Seattle.
Yeah, well, we have to beat them. We already beat them once.
But we got to win out our division.
We got to keep this shit going, bro.
We got to win the AFC West.
Yeah.
Or NFC West. We can't just, take it off.
Yeah. We got to keep it going.
If we lose again, it can't be a division.
No, most definitely, yeah, because that's going to definitely fuck up our playoff chances, at all. So you got earlier, I told you I wanted to kind of get into the Brock situation. Today, I feel like he had a pretty, Brock Purdy. He had one of the games where people are going to say he does deserve to get paid. He didn't really. I don't think he turned the ball over.
Yeah, but I'm tired of hearing about should he get paid, should he not. Just play the game. You know what I mean? That's what's going to determine whether you get paid. Not every other game you have a good game or a bad game.
Yeah.
You know, just play the game and let that work itself out. You know, it's not on us to dictate if he's going to get paid or not.
So okay. So the reason why I want to talk about it was it keeps coming up again, like especially after a win, after a loss, like it keeps coming up throughout the season.
That's just the media having something to talk about.
But how do you? So if the 49ers don't make the playoffs, so and then they give him this big contract, then what? Like, are you comfortable with that? Like the way he's playing right now?
I mean, contracts are based off the play.
Yeah,
and the play style. You know, just because they don't make the Super Bowl or the playoffs, it ain't only on him. I mean, he takes the credit, but look at his stats. You know, his stats are up there in the top.
Yeah.
Top 10, top 5 in the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, does he deserve the contract? His stats say he does. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, it's not for me to say he does or he doesn't. I don't think Dak Prescott deserved to be the highest paid fucking player in the league, but he is. You know, and with that being said, you know, the Niners might just say, hey, you know, we think you're worthy of it, but we're not going to give it to you. We don't have it to give.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
I want to see some Trey Lance today, bro.
To be honest with you, I'm just kind of overhearing people, the contract situations. You know, that's between the front office and the players. There ain't nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
You're just, by putting it out there, you're just pulling our emotional strings to
get reactions out of us.
Yeah, to get us to turn on the player to say trade him or get rid of him or he ain't worth it. Or, you know, at the end of the day, Brock Purdy's worth whatever he gets.
Yeah.
You know.
I think the only reason why, like, I do think it would affect us is because we know the situation we're in. Earlier, you and I talked about how we got all these free agents coming out next season. So it's like, if we don't capitalize on what we do have right now, it's going to be even harder moving forward. And we might be left with a quarterback that's not 100% guaranteed to be able to get us to that spot. You know,
you're wanting to re-sign all of these players. We did that this year. And it's not paying off. So why would we turn around and do it again?
True. Like the culture might need to shift.
You know what I mean? So having a bunch of good players come available, that might be for the better.
Like a blessing in disguise.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck, it ain't paid off by keeping them this time around. You know, we're playing shittier. Yeah, injuries did did come into play, but at the same time, I mean, we shouldn't. I don't think we could just, it's that old saying, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Don't fix it. Yeah.
We tried that. It wasn't broke, so we didn't fix it, and then it broke. You know what I mean?
So
we kept everybody from last year on our roster.
Brought everyone back.
And we thought that we could run it back with that same roster and be able to do it. And it's been proven so far that we're not. You know, not that we can do it, but we ain't the same team we were last.
No, ultimately, it's the end result that matters because we're talking about sitting at 5-4, and we don't know. Like you said, there's a possibility we could win out. These other teams can, have injuries. Football is a game of attrition, but it seems like we're getting healthier. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that could play in the 49ers' favor. And yeah, you're like, I say it all the time. Like, we shouldn't look too far ahead. I personally. I guess I feel the same way as you do, like it's not really our place to be like, what should they or should they not get? It's only going to make it interesting for us when it becomes to like, if it will affect.
Here's the thing, man. After fighting all offseason for AU to get his contract and then just see him go out with injury and now, not saying we threw money down the drain, but our investment ain't paying off.
And we've seen it come full circle before. We did that with Garoppolo, right?
Not only that, we've seen multiple times that every time we've paid somebody, they don't have
they don't return the return on investment isn't.
They had the good season. We paid them, and then they didn't have the same. Their stats weren't the same. They've fallen off.
Use this game as an example. You got Nick Bosa. I'm a huge fan of Nick Bosa, right? But how many times have we seen him miss a tackle? He's got OnlyFans?
God don't like fans.
Oh, God don't like. God don't like flags.
And fans.
You don't like fans?
Nah, too windy.
I think you're missing a G. No, I'm saying like today, bro. How many times have we seen him miss a tackle or could not be able to wrap somebody up? And he's the highest paid defensive player in the NFL.
The thing that gets me is that play where he's holding Baker Mayfield. At the end of the game, he's sitting there running Baker Mayfield off. He's got his arms, and it's like he's trying to push him out of bounds, bro. If that was me, I'd be yanking down on his arm, trying to pull his arm out of socket, trying to do something. You know what I mean? You can't just sit there and bull rush the guy's arm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jam it in his shoulder. You got to do something. Pull, push, pull. Do whatever you can to get. Even if you pull, you got it jerks that other arm. You can't get that pass off. You got to do something, man. You can't just let him run sideways. You know,
Baker bodied him, kind of pretty much. You know, he let him. He controlled him the whole way. Yeah, and I think I do this a lot. Like I come in here and nitpick off a win, but here's the thing, right? This is the first winning streak the 49ers have had all year, and it's a two-game win streak, and they needed a bye week to accomplish that. And
hey, they're on a 3-week no losing streak though.
And this was a game that also required them to play from behind at one point. They gave up a lead, and how many times have we seen Shanahan give up leads and blow them? And I think to that, just to bring it back to Brock Purdy, this would be another check on Brock Purdy's belt, at least in my books, because he was able to come back. He was down. It wasn't a big deficit, but he was able to play from behind. He hit Juan Jennings. Juan Jennings put the team on his back and got us as close as he possibly could.
That could have been very costly.
What move? Him going inside?
Cutting it back in, keeping the clock running.
You heard me. I was like, why didn't he go out of bounds?
No, he should have went out of bounds. Give him another play. Maybe they could have converted a touchdown.
Because I didn't want the Jake Moody kick.
Well, I mean, shit. By the time he went down, they still had about 15 seconds left.
Yeah.
He would have went down. They would have had 18, 19 seconds left. Or he would have went out of bounds at 18, 19 seconds left. Got another 2 plays off, possibly. If not scored, put him that much closer. Luckily it worked out. I think that's one of the plays where maybe he wasn't thinking clearly, like trying to make something happen, not worried about the time. I'm not so much worried about the time on the clock. And then afterwards, kind of like, oh shit, should have went out of bounds. But who knows? It paid off. It worked out. Yeah. Jake Moody I'm not going to say he redeemed himself, because you can't redeem yourself off 3 missed field goals. The game shouldn't have been that close.
But almost every single one of Jake Moody's kicks are right there, bro. Like in a cock's length of the fucking upright, bro. I don't know why I use Asian man's. No, but yeah, dude, I called it, dude. Jake Moody was going to be the biggest impact on this game. Yeah, it was good. It was good though. I do see parts where I'm like, okay, Brandon Ayuk's not there, but we can still move the ball. We still look good with Christian. Christian looks good out there. But there's obviously still a lot of things that they're struggling with the red zone, struggling on third down on both sides of the ball. Shit. Usually I try to put a little plug in the end. Courtesy of George Kittle.
Kittle butt plug.
Yeah, the George Kittle butt plug. But we didn't even say too much about the defense too. But to their credit, I think I've seen Baker Mayfield only pass for 116 yards. But he had some short fields there with this terrible special teams. Continue to be an issue with this 49ers.
Well, we called it with that Otten, you go-to guy.
Our pick, we didn't do that.
Sterling Shepard's a tight end too, ain't he? No, I thought Sterling Shepard. He might have just been a receiver. Because he's old. He's an old player.
Cade Otton was their second leading receiver next to White.
The White?
The White. Defense did pretty good today, though. Overall, they allowed only 215 yards, 105 passing yards. but they gave up 110 rushing yards. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, they got a 3-headed monster, bro. You're gonna give up rushing yards. They gave up 110 to 3 different running backs.
Yeah, let's see.
He's making this podcast appearance.
Yep. They had Bucky Irving, 13 for 73. R. White, 10 for 31. Baker Mayfield, 3 for
their leading receiver too,
out of the backfield. He had 6 catches for 39, and then Otten had 5 for 35. And on the defensive side, Fred Warner was the sack leader, 6 total tackles. My bad, tackle leader. Devondre Campbell finished with 4 tackles. Bernardo Green, no turnovers by the 49ers, which we predicted a Baker Mayfield turnover, but yeah, we blew it on our picks today. But that's what you get for playing fantasy. We got pretty close on a couple of them, though. We hit on that Juan. We hit on that George. Like you called it earlier, though, we completely overlooked Pearsall's impact and production.
We hit on Debo.
Yeah, we got the Debo one. We just missed the under on Brock Purdy. I had no idea. I didn't expect Brock Purdy to have to pass as much with McCaffrey being back, but a lot of those passing yards were McCaffrey's as well. So he had like 68 passing yards. You know what I mean? But like I said, every receiver finished with over 50 yards. So Brock Purdy finished with 3-something. Yeah, there is a few positives to take away. I think you just want to see this offense really start getting more consistent, more up tempo, and finishing these drives. Obviously, I think there's going to be some changes. Like they have to do something there with Jake Moody, bro. With the special teams in general, like,
bro, we ain't got. There's no options out there. Atlanta just signed the best option out there, bro.
Well, then Shanahan needs to change his strategy. Stop kicking so many field goals.
Not depend on Moody.
And stop depending on Moody so much. Which is what I would ultimately want because it's not working out. So they got to figure something out that's going to help us. Otherwise, they might be able to escape by Seattle playing like this. But, I don't know if necessarily Green Bay's a better team, but I think Green Bay has a better quarterback than Geno Smith. You think Geno Smith's better than Jordan Love?
Geno Smith's been balling, bro.
But, like, compared to what?
He turned the fucking Seahawks season team around. So they're a 500 team now to a winning team versus they weren't shit without him when they had, who they had before Geno Smith.
They went through like a little quarterback at one point, did they?
Yeah. That was a good pickup for them to pick up Geno Smith. He turned that program around.
But, like, I'm saying, like, lately, like, right now.
Yeah. Jordan Love, he ain't shooting Green Bay. He's a mediocre quarterback. So. Everybody wants to put so much behind Jordan Love, bro. Look, it's like sixth year in the league. He played 4 years behind Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he did against us in the playoffs, remember? At the end of the game, he threw across his body and threw a pick to Dre Greenlaw.
I'm just saying, everybody has good games, everybody has bad games. He's been mediocre for the most part. He ain't had no fucking spectacular standout performances or nothing like that.
Well, so like in that game against Green Bay in the playoffs, it was a close game, like they were right there where they could have won it, and then he turned the ball over, like he threw across his body to Dre Greenlaw. And I remember thinking, like, those are the plays that are gonna get you, like that make you a mediocre quarterback, like, oh, you can only do so much, like, you know what I mean?
But those are the plays that it's not to make you a mediocre quarterback, because if that play would have hit and Dre Greenlaw wasn't there and his receiver was there, he would have looked like a stud. That's what Patrick Mahomes does. Patrick Mahomes just got more luck with his shit. I just don't think Jordan Love's an elite quarterback. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think Geno Smith or Jordan Love are elite.
Smith isn't an elite quarterback either, but I think he utilizes his weapon.
Yeah. I just. Well, actually, you talked about it earlier. It's a divisional game as well.
Seattle. I feel like Seattle's defense is way better than Green Bay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if Green Bay has a better team right now. But you can't make those mistakes against any divisional opponent. So Seattle's going to be a big game. Green Bay's going to be a big game. Those are both NFC games. So we're 2 NFC games.
Buffalo's AFC.
Buffalo's AFC, but that's still going to be a big game for the 49ers, both psychologically and just because any loss at this point is going to affect the team. You know what I mean? It's going to affect their playoff chances.
Buffalo's one of those teams where they're good, but their record ain't showing it. You know what I mean? Because they're a mediocre team right now too, where they got weapons that could be a lot better than what their record shows.
Right now, they're 8-2. Yeah, pretty good, right?
No, I know, but
but
they're in some close games though.
But yeah, you don't hear them talked about a lot.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're in a lot of these close games, but not.
Yeah. But you know what too is because I think they've been there so many times. They've been so close, and everyone knows that they're kind of like us, bro. But they don't even get as far as us. They get to the playoffs and they blow it every year. But I think right now, like you were saying, like they don't have a lot of the weapons they used to have, and I think Josh Allen is like finally like stepping it up. It's like one of those. Right now, he's one of those quarterbacks that's one of the best in the NFL, but he hasn't necessarily done anything.
Well, statistically,
yeah.
But bro, could this be like deja vu all over again? Where
from him and who? Oh,
where Buffalo got a sick ass team. Yeah. You know when they had fucking Thurman Thomas, Big Cali,
O.J. Simpson.
That was after. They had some dope ass receivers too.
Yeah.
I forget who they had. But yeah, no, they had a dope team back in the day. Dope ass quarterback, dope running back, receivers. I don't know. Josh Allen falling victim to the Buffalo curse, because Jim Kelly, bro, is considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He just could never win the game.
Just couldn't win the big one.
He lost to the Niners.
Can you imagine losing four Super Bowls in a row, dude? That's crazy. Can you imagine going to 4 straight Super Bowls? Like, we're trying to go to back-to-back Super Bowls right now to hopefully win one with Shanahan. I don't know. So all I know is off my head, we got Arizona again. They're playing pretty good. They've been winning games.
We got Seattle, Green Bay, and Buffalo next.
And then you got we got to play the Rams again.
I just had this here.
I know. I looked it up too, and then my phone was being slow.
No, I just told you the whole thing.
I know, but I forget them in order. I got it now. Yeah, so Seattle, Packers, Bills. I say we go in that stretch. Seattle, Packers, Bills. I say we go
3-0,
2-1,
3-0.
And I say we lose to the Bills.
Primetime game Sunday night.
I say we beat the Packers. We have
lost all our prime times this year.
Have we?
I think so.
I say we beat the Packers on the road. We beat Seahawks at home. Beat the Packers on the road. Lose to the Bills. That'll put us at what? 6-4, 7-4. That'll put us at 7-5. And then we got Chicago at home. I say we beat Chicago at home.
Should be a trap game, bro. Caleb Williams is balling out.
He's having a good year for a rookie. Here's my thing about why I say
the next game I say we got to worry about is the Rams and the Lions.
Well, hold on, real quick, right? Here's why we're going to beat Chicago. There's no way we're going to lose to a quarterback that paints his fingernails. Okay, so the Rams. Earlier this year in our season prediction, I said if we're going to lose to the Rams, we're going to lose early in the season, right? To them on the road, right? So
fuck that. Just the way you went for paints his nails. So anyways,
right? So we got the Rams at home this time, right? So I say we beat the Rams at home. So that'll put us at 8-5, 9-5. And then we got to go beat the Dolphins, 10-5. And then you get to the last 2 games of the season. This is where people start resting or taking their foot off the gas. And you got Lions who are doing pretty good. So we got Lions. And I mean, at this point, the way the 49ers are playing, I can't say we would win that game. But it being late in the season, maybe the Lions already got their division locked up.
I say we win all the way till Lions, and then that's an iffy.
So if we did lose, that'll give us 6, and say we beat Arizona, that'll put us at 11-6. So we're in a good position. This next couple of weeks really matter.
I don't know if we've lost the first round bye. If it's still eligible, we need it.
Yeah,
we got.
I don't know. Yeah, at this point, I think that one's out of the reach. Out of reach.
Our play schedule so far.
Because look at who's got tiebreakers on it.
Well, you never know. Minnesota's playing iffy right now. They're only a half game behind Detroit. Detroit can go on a losing streak. They can't win that thing. You know what I mean? They did it that one year and then lost in the first round.
Yeah, but Minnesota does have the tiebreaker on us. If Detroit beats us, tiebreaker, so that'll be an important game.
Minnesota keeps winning.
Yeah.
You're a big hater of Sam Darnold. You could be right about him, and he could just fucking
come back and
eat ass.
Oh my god!
Towards the
I thought you were gonna say watch this fool beat us in the playoffs.
No, he could eat ass second half of the season. They lose that time. The record determines it.
That's what I do second half of the season.
Eat ass.
Yes.
What's his name? Forte.
But yeah, it's gonna be a huge.
By the way, guys, our unpaid intern, he's been on strike because he's unpaid.
Yeah.
They don't understand the contract he signed was for an unpaid position. So.
Yeah, we don't do no Diddy shit. He asked if we would supplement his pay with some Diddy shit, and we said no.
I don't buy baby.
Yeah. But anyways, all right. So we should wrap it up. 49ers are 5-4 in prime position. Their fate is in their hands. They got a lot of problems on and off the field. We didn't even talk about Debo over there with his little fucking choke slap. Choked the Tabor Pepper that got pushed off into a little slap on Jake Moody. I don't think Debo was even mad about. Like, even if it was an accident, he probably didn't give a fuck. That shit was hella funny. So I'm sure we'll be hearing about that this week. People are going to be hating on Bosa because he didn't really do shit this game. After his little...
Can't really hate on him. The reports were he wasn't even going to play. He was questionable to the game.
Yeah.
With the hip pointer and
yeah.
At the end of the day, he got a sack.
Big sack.
Yeah. So
big sack.
Again, it goes back to me saying not everybody's going to have great games all the time. There's
one thing too. Not that it was anything like too glaring or like world shattering, but Tom Brady, he is very like honest. And what he says, he would say terrible offensive line play. When the 49ers offensive line sucked. Oh, that was a terrible throw by Brock Purdy. So I was saying, like, there was something about like listening to what Tom Brady says a lot, in this game. Like, so when I go back and watch the highlights, I kind of pick that apart a little bit more. I think his insights kind of matter. Not that it, again, like, not that it'll affect Purdy or the team in any way, but just moving forward, I want to see if something that he really either spots or maybe he just doesn't want to acknowledge. Maybe he's biased. He's a Raiders fan now.
No, but 49ers continue to struggle with their special teams.
Yeah.
Jake Moody, 3 field goals missed. The score should
have been 30 fucking 2, maybe even 37. It was 23 to 20, so it should have been like 31.
23-30?
23-20. 23 to 20. 49ers dub.
23-20. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? Talking about Tom Brady and the Raiders, like that fool's always owned the Raiders. Raider fans always hated Tom Brady. Now he officially owns the Raiders. Crazy, huh? Like, Raiders fans are hurt, bro. All right. So we'll be back for the Seattle game. Ray?
What do you say, Tom Brady? I'd say Manning on the Raiders more.
Well, didn't he get them with the tuck rule?
Yeah, but that was one game. It was the playoffs too, I think.
Yeah, and then he went to win the Super Bowl after that. It was championship game. Yeah. But so we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
We were trying to do Wednesdays too.
I know. We need to try to get on it. I've just been busy.
In case you guys didn't know, Kyle works with monkeys.
Yeah.
And then 43 of them just escaped in North Carolina, but they're on high alert.
I don't know nothing about them monkeys.
They're on high alert, so
I don't have nothing to do with those monkeys.
If Kyle comes with monkeypox,
herpes.
He'll give the monkeys herpes. They're gonna give him monkeypox.
Herpes is the big one that we watch out for the most.
Real thing on herpes out there?
Herpes B.
What's that?
It's like the worst one.
Why is that?
I don't know. Just kills. I guess it kills humans. Yeah. Anyways.
I thought it was like HIV and stuff like that.
HIV. They have that too.
So they're trying to find cures for the herpes, or
some shit like that. All different kinds of like
herpes was incurable.
Who knows? Maybe a little discovery.
Ivermectin. Have you guys tried that?
Yeah. I just go ginseng. I go all about the herbs.
Herb beans.
Coach Herb Dean. All right. Fuck it. We out. We'll see you all.
Ray J. Garcia.
Kyle J. Vigil. Who got it better than us?
Nobody.
Red and gold.
Till a betting pole.
49 Problemz, baby. Let's fucking go. Niners are 5-4.